Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So I know I'm really late with this video. I promised you guys that I will do a tutorial showing you guys some different techniques of how to use watercolor pencils. So the pencils that I'm going to be using today are these Nouveau pencils that I had hauled probably some months ago. It was a really great deal. I want to say it was like maybe $20 or less for all three packs of these, all three sets of these. I believe there's 12. Yeah, 12 in each set. So it came with a brilliantly vibrant set. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Tristy Boo. Hey, Samantha. And these are the colors that are in here. And then it also came with the pastel highlights, which are pastel colors. Hey, Bevy. Welcome, guys. And then the elementary midtones, which are these. And I actually have one right here. So these are the pencils I'm going to be using. I guess you can call this also a review because I'll tell you guys what I think about these pencils. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Debbie. Hello, everyone. So this is what we're going to be doing today, guys. I'm also going to be using this Dollar Tree water print brush pen. So I hauled these some weeks back as well. You get a pack of 2 at Dollar Tree. And I've already been using this pen, guys, and it works just as good as the other ones. Probably the bristles are not as best quality as the other ones, but this works just fine. Okay, so if you're a beginner, you don't want to spend all that money on a water brush, run to Dollar Tree and go get you a set of these because it works decent. Okay, so the way that this brush works is that you put water in here, this unscrews, and you put your water, you screw it back on, and you just lightly push, you squeeze, lightly squeeze, and the water will come out. Okay, so when you guys are playing with this brush, always have like a little piece of paper towel or a washcloth or a wipe, whatever, so that you can, wipe the excess off. This is ink from when I was stamping. Guys, I suck at stamping. You can see here, I suck at it, okay? But I don't care though. I just wanted to stamp this stuff out. And if you're curious, I use the stamp set from Urban Gems, which is this one. She's waiting for this one to come in. So guys, if you're interested in this stamp set, it's so cute. It's got the gumball machine. It's from the P13 set, that candy collection. It's got like the little gumball things. It's got a donut, some little candy wrappers. And what you guys can do, you can make these Halloween. You can take a little stamp, a bat stamp, and stamp a bat in there. You can put some webbing on there. You can do all kind of stuff to make this Halloween. Or whatever kind of uh holiday or theme that you want to make it. It also has some sentiments. Do not worry, eat sprinkles. Life is sweet. There's a cherry, some cupcakes, a donut, and some hearts. So this is the stamp set that I'm gonna be using. I already went ahead and I stamped it. I just used a little cheapy. Oh baby, don't get on there. If I find out you're on TikTok, you're gonna be in trouble. I'm telling you right now. All right, play with me if you want to. Play with me if you want to. Hey Nadine. Hi, Samantha. I want to see the new ones. Where they at? Oh, no, you did not just bust me out for my new ones, girl. No, I'm not touching those yet. They like made of unicorn tears and fairy dust. Yes. I'll do a review on those for sure. But today, um, hey Beth, what an F. I forgot government names all the time. So I just used this little cheapy stamp because I couldn't find none of my ink pads. And like I said, I'm not the best at stamping, as you can tell. But one thing that I do, this is how this one looked. But y'all know I can draw. So I just drew it in as best as I could. So this is what we're working with today, guys. I want to show you guys some techniques when using your watercolor pencils. Hey, Zulma. Yes, girl. I've been trying to get these videos out. Your girl's on the road. So let's get started. The first way that you can use watercolor pencils, guys. Oh, let's talk about paper first. I'm sorry if this video is everywhere because that's me. I'm everywhere. But this is just 110-pound cardstock. It works just fine as long as you're not putting too much water, okay? If you're going to be putting a lot of water, you want to use some watercolor paper, okay, guys? But this 110-pound cardstock is perfect. So I'm gonna zoom in. Let's work on. Let me see. Can I zoom in? Let me see. Cause I'm on this damn. On StreamYard. I don't think it's gonna let me zoom in. All right, we're gonna have to keep it like that, guys. So we'll start with this cupcake here. The first technique I want to show you guys is with watercolor pencils. You don't have to use water. You can just use it as a regular colored pencil, okay? So let's go ahead and color in one of these candies, actually. So I'm just gonna use whatever sets. All right, so when you're coloring, it's best for you when you guys are coloring or painting, always start off light and then you could build up darker, okay? It'll be harder for you to go back light after you go dark. So let's just lightly color this. I'm not using a lot of pressure. I feel like, can you guys see? Damn StreamYard. Oh man, I really miss. And then if you want to make it darker, just do some more pressure. So you can get like some really nice lights and darks, okay? So this technique, using it just as a regular color pencil, will work really well for details, okay? So like for instance, this cupcake here, I could add in some details, which it's already painted, it's dried, and I can go in with the color pencil and really build on a color or whatnot, you know? So let's say I want to make it darker here. So this is a great way to use this technique. So I really suggest watercolor pencils because you can get the best of both worlds in one. You can get that paint look. You can get that color pencil look as well. And you don't need a lot of colors, guys. So this is great to put in details, okay? Let me see. Let me grab another color over here. I hope that you guys can see this well. It sucks I can't zoom in. Let's try this color. Okay, and I'm going to try to pull. So hopefully you guys can see that. You can use them as just a regular color pencil, okay? And again, they're great for like pulling out details, adding highlights, stuff like that is when you will want to use that technique. I got to show my son this video later. I got him drawing again. He's so good. He gave up for a while, but I'm so glad yay, I'm glad he is too, girl. He was getting depressed. Yes, girl, I'm telling you guys, art crafting is great for depression and just like anxiety, like for everything. It is my, what do you call it? Therapy. This is our therapy. That's why it's important for us to craft as much as we can. All right. So the next technique that I want to show you guys is how to, we're going to color like a regular color pencil, and then we're going to activate the paint with water. Okay. So let's do this cupcake. And I'm just going to lightly color in. And I'm not even going to color everything. Okay. Because with this particular image, I want to show some highlights. I want it to be like this. You know what I mean? It looks like it has depth. I don't want to just color it all solid. So I'm just lightly putting some color down. Oh my God. There's this damn fly in my room. I cannot get it out. It's driving me insane. So I'm just lightly putting some color down. Just like that, okay? So with this technique, we're coloring. And then we're going to take our water brush, right? And make sure that you guys have like a paper towel or something. If you squeeze it too hard, too much water is going to come out, and you don't want that because we're not using watercolor paper, okay? And this cardstock is not going to be able to withstand all of that. So I'm just going to make sure it's nice and damp, okay? And I'm going to use the wet brush to pull that paint out. So I'm just rubbing it gently. I'm moving the pigment around. I should have used a darker color. And I'm just smudging that color out, okay? You guys probably can't see that well. Let me use a darker color. Let's use darker colors for the sake of this video because since I can't zoom in, we'll use this dark purple color. that I use right here, okay? So let's color this. I'm just gonna put some down. Again, I'm not coloring every little area because we're gonna activate this and paint all around, okay? So you guys can see that, right? Yeah, you can see that well. Do you ever use the blending pencils, the one made out of paper? No, I don't personally like those. They're great for when you're coloring with like when you're using charcoal. So guys, I don't know if you can see this, but the brush is damp and I'm just lightly going over it and I'm moving it over. I'm moving it like paint. I'm basically painting with this. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm blending it out. So with this, guys, you guys can do a lot of layers depending on your paper. And again, depending if you don't put too much water. Once this is dried like this one was, you can go over it with more and more layers like I showed you guys. Okay. So this is like one of the ways that you can use your watercolor pencils. You see a little bit goes a long way. So then we have that painted. Let me go ahead and show you guys this up close. Let me cut this. We'll cut this so I can get up close. See? So it was just some scribbles and now it's laid out like paint. Okay. So let's go ahead and let me get a darker color so I can show you that top frosting part. Let me find a pretty blue. It's a little bit more pigmented. Let's do this one. So let me show you this again up close. So I'm laying down some color. You guys can see that? Laying down the color. Put some here. And now I'm going to activate it with the water brush, okay? Make sure you clean your brush in between colors, okay? So you just wet it and you just move it around to wherever you want. I want to leave some white marks in here because if I leave the white marks, it'll show depth. It'll make it look more realistic. So can you guys see that? So it's nice and blended now. So another technique that I want to share with you guys is that you can pull the pigment off of the pencil with your brush. Now with this, you want to be careful because a little bit goes a long way. So I'm putting a lot on here. It's going to be really pigmented. Like you see that paint is on there. And then you can just paint directly on your image, picture, whatever you guys are doing, your stamp, your artwork. So I'm just pulling it off of this and just painting it directly onto the image. You guys see that? That first one looks like that birthday cake. Do you guys see the yellow? Isn't that pretty? So that's another technique you can use. Let's put some on this one as well. And if you guys have like one of those slick surfaces, like what do you call those plastic, like those plexiglasses or whatever, even this right here I could use. So I'm gonna wet my brush and I'm gonna grab a bunch of this pigment and I'm just gonna put it right here. And I could have a little wash of paint and I could use that as well to paint with. So you have a nice light wash. So there's so many techniques that you can use with these watercolor pencils. So you can grab it directly on and it'll be a lot darker. So again, it's better to start off light and then build it up darker. Yeah, the yellow gives it a nice little pop, right? I like that yellow on this. Okay, so that's another technique. Another technique you can do is called like a wet on wet technique, I guess, if you will. So what I'm gonna do, and I don't know if this is the best technique to do with cardstock, but if you have watercolor, if you're using watercolor paper, you're good to go. So I'm gonna just activate my pen. I'm gonna get a lot of water. You see, it's a lot of water coming out of my brush, and I'm just gonna wet. I'm just gonna do one sided. I'm just wetting all that up, and then you can go in with your pencil, and you can color right on top. Okay, so that's the wet with a wet surface. Now on this side is dry, so I'll show you what it looks like, the difference. So this is just the regular color pencil. And you can see the difference. This one is nice and opaque and it's very like I don't know how you would say it, but this one looks more painterly, you know what I mean? So you can kind of see the difference. Hey Josie. So let's continue. Let me see and grab another color. So I like to just like play around. I'll grab a couple of different colors and I'll just put them in different places. These are all going to be like rainbow cupcakes. Okay, and then let's use, I don't know, maybe this purple. And let's see how this turns out. I'm going to start with the blue because that purple is going to be really bright. So I'm just using the wet brush and I'm painting. I'm basically moving the pigment around to paint. Okay, I'm mixing these, so I'm not going to clean my brush. Doesn't matter. And you can see these are going to blend if you want them to blend. You could even grab some of this pigment and use it over here. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes like paint. Do any of you guys own watercolor pencils? There's some really great brands out there. So this is my first time playing with these Nuvo watercolor pencils, and they're pretty good, guys. I think that I really like them. Some of them are really opaque, some are not, but some of these are labeled as pastel colors. Hey, Rocky. Hey, Bobby. So you guys see? Thank you, girl. I know I've been missing painting and drawing. Like I really have been missing it. So I think those are basically all the techniques, guys. So just have fun with your watercolor pencils and your stamps. Experiment, like experiment. That's why I stamped these so many different times. I'm just gonna use different colors. I think my favorite technique is this right here. Just scribbling and activating it with the water. So see, this has dried and you can go over it. You can put a lot of layers. I'm sorry, guys. I'll promise to try to start painting a little more. I need to. I just got so much on my plate and I'm just trying to get everything done little by little. So I'm just using that wet tip and I'm just activating that paint, basically. But yeah, there's a lot of really great watercolor pencils on the market. I definitely suggest Prismacolor is one of the bomb, is a bomb company. These Nuvo ones are really nice. I haven't tried the Arteza watercolor ones. I really want to try those because they have a 72 pack. Let me clean this paint right here. So look at how pretty and pastel this looks. And we just mixed a bunch of different colors. Wet tip. Oh Lord, I'm turning Sonia out. Look at all the good ones being bad. Let me see what color. Let's make that cupcake pink. The like cake part will make it pink. Let me use the other technique that we did with the wet brush to the pencil tip. You can see the pigment come off on your tip. Okay, guys? We're going to turn Sonia out. I want to make that a lot darker, so I'm going to grab some more pigments. You can even mix your colors to make them darker. Like I could add a little bit of purple. I'm adding some of that purple. So you see it's making that color darker and it mixes well with that pink. And I'm going to make it a lot light right here because I want it to be like a highlight. So these Dollar Tree brushes, they're decent. They get the job done. So you guys see when you put that little shadow there, it just makes it pop. I have the Spectrum Noir ones and I really like them. Oh, those are a really good brand as well, Debbie. They're really pigmented, aren't they? So glad I got a notification. I have Arteza and Prima. They're good. I gotta try those. What color should we make the wrapper? Should I just stick with the colors that were on top? I think we should. Let me grab the same colors. But yeah, whenever I see a good sale on some art supplies, I always try to snatch them. Hey, Nadia. Are you using watercolor paper? No, this is a 110-pound cardstock. So it works really well with watercolor pencils, guys. And even you can watercolor on 110-pound cardstock. You just don't want to go crazy with the water because the water will break down your paper, okay? But this 110-pound cardstock, it withstands the water pretty well because I'm not going too crazy and, you know, like putting like crazy amount of water. But it holds up really well to this little bit of water. So I'm just going to put a little bit here, a little bit there. When you're coloring these stamp images, you don't need much. You want to definitely leave some white spots. Y'all know about leaving white spots. I can use those, right? Yeah, Mike, you can use my pencils, baby. You got to get off this live, Mike, because this is grown folks right now. Okay, baby? Come get a pack. You can come use them right now if you want. Come get a set. That's my daughter, Maya, guys. I gave her phone back, and now she can't stay off my damn lives. She don't want to be bothered with any of my art stuff, my craft stuff, but she wants to watch my live. Come get you a pack, baby. Maybe I should tell Tara to grab some of these for Urban Gems. That's so cute. Let me show you guys. Really cute, right? So we can totally make this Halloween by stamping a black bat right here. I think that would look really cute. Hey, Veronica. Let's do a donut. So once these dry, we'll go over it and then we'll add even more detail. It's really fun to layer it like this one. This one, I layered it a couple of times and you can see the difference. Thank you. Ooh, 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 ooh. All my stamp, guys, I do not stamp for shit. Like, this is the first time I've stamped in a very long time. And you could tell why, like, I suck at it. But I wish I can get to my stash because I really would like to stamp a black bat on here. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm mixing up these colors, whatever. Let's do a donut. Let's make it a chocolate donut. Hey, Lana. Thank you, guys. All right, let's use the brown. This is a really great set. I think it was, I wish I could remember the price, but I want to say it was like 20 bucks. So these are little white dots. And let me turn my fan this way so I can dry my paper. Okay. I'm going to cover these dots up and I want to see if I can go over it with the paint. So again, you don't have to fully color this. I'm doing like chicken scratch. You don't have to be a professional colorer. You don't have to be a professional artist. Colorer is probably not a word. Okay, so I'm just scribbling. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to activate it. Get the water out. You don't want too much. And I'm just going to blend that pigment. And I'm going to leave some spots white. So you can kind of see. Here, let me get closer. You can see that pigment dragging. You can see it getting dragged all over. Just like that. And we'll let this dry and I'll try to go over the little white dots with just the pigments. Okay. Just like that. What happened? Do you have a white gel pen? Yes, you can use your gel pen, your pay pens too. Just got back from soccer practice, got off my bed. Yuck. Go take a shower. Chocolate with orange frosting. Oh, that sounded good. I should have saw that first. This paper is a 110-pound cardstock. This is just cardstock that I'm using, guys. But I do suggest that you use watercolor paper if you're going to be putting a lot of water on it. But once again, you don't need to use watercolor paper if you don't go crazy with the water, okay? Because the water, it makes your it'll make it buckle. You start to see it tear. But you, as you can see, I put a little bit of water and it's fine. Okay. So there's that. Let me do an orange one. Let's do a black and orange or chocolate with the orange frosting on this one while that one's drying. So again, you don't have to put much pigment. Okay, here and there. And we're gonna really drag that pigment around. So again, you can work in layers, guys. Once this dries, like let's say you want this a lot darker than this, right? Let that dry really well and go over it again, or do the technique that I showed you where you pull. Let me get close so you guys can see. Where you pull the pigment off the pencil and you paint with it. Okay, I could feel my brush was getting a little dry, so I just squeezed it a little bit. And guys, I'm using this Dollar Tree brush pen. It works pretty good. I want to leave some spots white. And you guys can cut these out and use them for ephemera. I'm just not a real big stamper. And the only reason why I don't really color and stamp like that is because I'm an artist and I'm always drawing and painting. And I feel like that when I'm doing that, that's time that I could be like doing a painting or a drawing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So that's why I don't like to really stamp and color like that. But it's so relaxing, guys. Okay, so there goes the orange. Bye, Lana. All right, so this one's dry. We can go ahead and go in. We can actually layer that with, let's add some pink to it. See how it looks. I'm turning it because this is wet. Let me get a darker pink because this one's called Cotton Candy. And it's pretty light. Let's try this color. I'm going to try to mix the pink and the brown. And we'll see how it looks. Again, I'm just putting it on some parts. I have one of those brushes. It's still in the package to use it. No, girl, you got to bust it out and try it. I promise you. It's so easy to use. It makes your life so much easier. Okay, so I'm just activating just the pink because I don't need to mess with the brown. The brown is already set in there. So I'm just going over the pink parts. Can you guys see that? It's so hard to see on camera. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. We'll let that dry. This one's still a little wet. So when you use a lot of too much water, I did use kind of a lot, your paper starts to buckle. You can kind of see it like it's like got a hump like that. You could also use a heat tool to dry it and it'll make it so much faster. And if you get buckling like that, the heat gun will actually lay it down a little bit more too. So let's try to do I got a black in here? I don't think I have a black in any of these sets. No, just this brown color. Okay, so let's use the technique of, let me clean my brush out. Can you pat dry the water and then layer? You can pat, but just keep in mind that when you pat, you're gonna be pulling the color off. So like let's say I did this, right? See how it's really dark right here? And let's say I wanted to like make it a little lighter like this. That's when you want to use that technique. You want to grab your wet and dab it and it'll pull some of it out. But you definitely don't want to use that to dry it. Let it air dry or use a heat tool or a blow dryer. So let me grab some pigment. You can see it all on the tip. And I'm going to go ahead and paint. And go straight in and paint. This is a great way so you can control the color. You know, if you don't want to go too dark, this is a great technique to use. Just like that. Take your time, guys. It's okay if you make mistakes. Kind of use that tip. I'm using the tip of the brush to get into all these little tight spots. See right here, the stamp is kind of corroded. I'm going to cover that up with my pigment. I'm going to go right over that and make it look like a brand new line. So even if you don't get a perfect image, you can still make these work. You guys know how I am. I don't like to waste shit. So these didn't come out stamped right, but I'm like, I don't care. We'll make it work. Make it work. That's my motto. And make sure you're kind of turning your pencil because you are pulling that pigment. You can kind of see it coming off the pencil and everything. Hey, Cheryls. So just like that. Oh my God, there's this fly in my room. It's driving me insane. All right. See right here, a lot of the image is missing. I'm just going to go ahead and paint it in. Making that circle and just filling it in the areas. Filling in the areas. So even though I don't have a bat stamp, I'm going to try to draw a bat. Let's try to draw a bat on this cupcake. Here, I'll use this dark one. And I'm going to draw a bat on this one. Let's see. Hopefully I don't mess it up. I'm just going to draw it in. And fill it in. And I'm going to activate that and see how it looks. We'll see how different it looks. So make sure that this is nice and dry before you go on there and do that. We'll draw a little one right here too. Draw a little baby bat. Oh! I'm being too heavy-handed. Oh no. Shit. Okay. Some people, they actually, you can even, like, if your tips break off, you can save those tips, put them in your tins, and you can just paint off of them. Pull the paint off of them instead of wasting it. So even though there's lines under there from the stamp, you can't really see them because we're covering them up with the pigment of these pencils. Hey, Maria. Sorry if I missed anyone coming in. I'm too focused on this picture. So I hope this video encourages you guys to play with watercolor pencils. I would love to see your guys, what you create, whether you color or you do a drawing. Tag me and I'll repost it for everyone to see. I'm telling you guys, this is so therapeutic. Even if you have a coloring book, you can do this in one of the coloring books, those adult coloring books. So relaxing, guys. We all need this in our lives. A little bit of relaxation and you're being creative at the same time. So see, we just created our own little image. Let me see if I could do a really tiny one. Yes, I want to see son's drawings. I'm gonna try to do a baby little tiny bats. Now, one thing I could say about these Dollar Tree ones is that the little things, they do come out. The bristles. But again, if you're just a beginner and you don't want to spend all that money on a watercolor brush, you can use your regular paintbrushes as well, guys. But these are great to just practice and play around with. I would definitely suggest these. Just be careful with those tips. Okay. So there goes our little cupcake. Hey, Venus. With our little bats. But you could definitely use your stamps and stamp some little bats on there, guys. I think it'll be really cute. Let me add, like, even though this tip is breaking, I'm gonna add like some starlight, you know, like shimmer to it, so that there's some purple happening all over it. Ah, there was a big drop of water that came down. So see, this is when you want to blot it up. Use your paper towel to blot it up as best as you can. Oh, I feel like I'm ruining it. All right, that's fine. Thank you, guys. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you found this useful. So let's paint a couple of these dots before I go. Again, bust out those watercolor pencils. I'll try to find the link for these. I'll see if Terrican wants to get these in her shop. You guys let me know if you're interested in grabbing these from Urban Gems. So you see, I'm going right in and it's so pigmented. Look. So dark. I bought that stamp set from Tara and the water pen when you told us before. I'm ordering the pencils now. Girl, it's going to be so fun. This, guys, Tara did not get this. She's still waiting to get this stamp in. So let her know if you want to pre-order. Tara, I don't know if you want to do pre-orders for that stamp. I know you're waiting for it to come in. But this is a great stamp, guys. I'm telling you, look at their sweet treats. And we easily turned it into a Halloween. Let me go ahead and cut one of these. Let's cut some of these out. Let me cut this one out. Cut it like that and just throw it onto your... No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I'm going to try to leave... I'm not going to leave nothing around the edge. So this is a great way to make your own ephemera. Don't got to have no printer. We all got some stamps and ink. So let me know if you guys want to see another video similar to this. I could show you how to use water-based markers to do the same things. Those Crayola markers. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'm going to be doing some reviews on some art supplies that I've been getting in as well. I hate fussy cutting. Did I ever mention that? And you guys know those metallic watercolor? You can mix your watercolors with this. I need to do that because it'll add something extra. Matter of fact, let me bust out my metallic watercolors. So there goes a quick, easy little ephemera piece. And I use that Dollar Tree marker that I hauled yesterday, the Sharpie, that pink one. So the ink was red, but like I said, I suck at stamping. So I made up my own little lines just looking at the picture. And I went over some of the other ones and that's how it came out. Let me see. I got some watercolors here. Yes. First time I go looking for something and I get it right away on the first try. Winning. This must be a sign that I need to draw and paint more. So these are my watercolor stash. Some of my watercolor stash. My metallic ones. And let me show you guys what a difference it makes. Okay. Let's use it on this pumpkin one. Donut. The hell. And let me see, what color do I want to use? My poor babies, they haven't been touching so long. I've missed you. Hey, Christina. All right, let me just do like this color here. It's like a green, metallic green blue. I gotta really work it in. And these watercolor brushes, these paint water pens, they're really great for watercolors because you can just squeeze a dot on there and it'll activate the paint for you really quickly. Let me see. Let me get a frame. So I just put a drop on there and you gotta really work these in. You can kind of see the paint. Yes, girl, you know I love my Hydra watercolors. Get it on there really good. And then go to town. Okay. So I'm just gonna paint my own little line circles on here. And once this dries, you're gonna see what a beautiful finish you get. These are my all-time favorite metallic watercolors from Hydracolor. I'm obsessed with these. I can't stop buying them. I still have some that I bought and I have not opened or reviewed for you guys because I usually like to review them on here so it makes me paint. You know what I mean? Let me add some on this too so you guys can see. I got terabyte these. Okay. Yes, they're on Etsy. I'll link her shop if you guys are interested. It can be pretty pricey, but she does have like sampler ones where you get like a nice amount. A little bit goes a long way with these watercolors. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's still drying a little bit, but you can see that metallic. You never use them, girl. This one's still drying, but you can see that shimmer. All right. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Again, I want to encourage you guys to use your watercolor pencils. Try these techniques out and see what works best for you. And show me what you guys come up with and create. I love this little Halloween one. All right. So I love you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.